Hello and welcome to Everything To Guppy, the Binding of Isaac podcast that covers every item, character, boss, floor, and everything in the Binding of Isaac series of video games. My name is Gary Butterfield, and with me, as always, is a less good Blondie song, Will Hughes.
Gary, text me.
Yeah? Okay.
How about
text me?
Text me! SMS me!
You know what is a very funny Blondie song?
What's that, Gary?
One Way or Another.
How so?
Because a lot of the lines sound very threatening, but they're not threatening. So she'd be like, one way or another, I'll meet ya. I'll meet ya. It's like, oh, yeah, it sounds nice. Like that's a nice little
I'll
meet
get your
and greet.
details.
I'll get one way or another. ASL. Age, sex, location, not American Sign Language.
Oh, sure. You have to remember that Gary and I are from old internet.
Yes. Yeah. Back when you cruise the boards for men asking you questions.
Yep. Where that was accepted standard practice so that you knew whether you were talking to a cop.
Yep. Just jump into the Yahoo chat room for, say, like Nintendo and just get asked questions by strangers.
That era of the internet was a great time for me to realize that I didn't like people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kind of always suspected that the fact that most of my conversations with most people just kind of peter out meant there was something broken in my head. But going on those chat rooms was just like, boy, I don't care what 95% of people have to say.
I think that's the correct stance. Because just like being interested in a person just
Gary.
because they're a person. You know, like, oh, this person's on AOL chat room. They must be interesting.
Okay, but that's
psychopath shit.
But it's also a superpower. Like, that's what successful people do. Like, I remember I met John Darnielle. He was at Guardian Games in Portland one time. He was playing Magic with a reporter because John Darnielle is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I kind of flagged him down. And he was so genuinely interested in what Olivia and I were doing that I was like, oh, this is why he's like a very popular musician. What?
Yeah. The Mountain Goats guy.
Yeah. And I'm, I don't know, fucking Podcast Joe.
Yeah. Podcast Joe over here.
Like the ability to be genuinely interested in other human beings is the power I most wish I had.
It's pretty impressive. Like at a certain point you get old enough where like you just kind of start like, I've seen it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
basically. I like you and I like Nick and I like Olivia and
Brayden?
and Brayden. I do like Brayden.
How about
we're
Cole?
starting. What?
How about Cole?
I like Bully and Cole. Is that the same?
That's a form of like. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like saying I love Fresca, but I really just like pouring it down the drain. You still like it.
Yeah.
You know?
I just wanted like my ability to talk to people who can't riff is so low.
That's very difficult, actually. Like, you know, you want people to be able to like, every once in a while you end up in those socials. We're talking about Shard of Glass, of course.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you end up in those social situations with people who just don't try to be funny.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks. Like they don't do anything.
Like they don't have like that deep, desperate need to get a laugh out of the other person, which is the only metric of whether a conversation is a success.
Well, even if they don't respond to it either.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of like, you try to make a joke and they just kind of look at you like, let's go back to talking about what we do for our jobs. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like,
yeah. And Gary, that
sucks.
goes up the older you get, you know?
Yes.
The more conversations I've had about like tax law.
Yes. Or like home ownership. Like you start meeting homeowners and that creeps into their conversation.
Oh God. Yeah.
Quite a bit. Like Nick, our good friend Nick recently got a house. I'm fully expecting him to get like 20% more bland.
Yeah. R.I.P. Nick.
Yeah. Like eventually we're just going to be talking about like mortgages and horseshit like very soon. Yards.
Like if I have a positive trait, it's that I have kept the spirit of stupid playfulness alive in my heart for longer than many actual adults.
You and I are both the man with the child in his eyes.
And that's, in some ways, that's very sad. And
in other ways, though, delightful.
Mildly lucrative to the tune of about $200 a month.
Bring it on. Yeah.
Is my favorite cheerleading movie.
Yeah. I prefer a child adult who is goofy.
Yeah. Gary, I think, yeah.
Yeah, we both do, but I'm saying this for the audience in case anyone wants to approach me and tell me about their job. Don't. Just kidding.
If you're a fan of Guppy, I'll listen to whatever you want to tell me.
Yeah, I have to. You're my boss.
Yep.
You pay my taxes.
boy, this item's it's just
this
fucking
is
nothing, man.
Some of the worst, man. This week it's good that we haven't recorded in a while because we have a lot of digression energy because this week sucks.
So Shard of Glass, blood and guts. Gary, let's skip over the item for a second. Can you read me the trivia entry?
Mm-hmm. Blood and guts is a term for violence, typically in fiction.
Yay!
Good job, Wikipedia Walt.
Someone wrote that,
yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Gary, do you think someone... So there's two clauses in that sentence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blood and guts is a term for violence, and then typically in fiction. I don't want to go through the history on this page because I'm not allowed to touch those tools. Do you think someone wrote, blood and guts is a term for violence, period?
And then somebody else added,
yes.
Typically in fiction?
Yes. Or do you think that thought came fully formed like Athena from the head of Zeus?
I think it might have come fully formed because it sounds like it has that kind of wiki, like, gotta contribute something.
Yeah.
Energy to it.
Christ,
like,
there's no... Dave!
Yeah.
There's no fucking trivia on Shard of Glass.
I just imagined a use case where somebody had never heard the phrase blood and guts and don't know what either of them are.
Gary, that would be fucking terrifying. If you... Gary? Imagine the first person who found out what blood
out about blood?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think about that kind of stuff. I think about this first person who peed and pooped as well. As just like this like terrifying, like, do I need that?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's definitely scary. I feel like finding out about blood is worse because you've also just been hurt.
Oh yeah. Like you have the negative pain and you see red stuff coming out of you.
You're spurting liquids.
Yeah. What the fuck? Like, do I drink this? Like, what is this? Is it sauce? You know?
And then guts, that but worse.
That would also be like the first person who found out what's inside
too.
people. Like, even if it was somebody else, even if you weren't dying, like I wouldn't want to crack open a person and then find guts and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well,
like,
I
ugly snakes.
I just want to assume it's this flesh all the way through.
Yeah, that'd be great. Like a tree.
A lot like a tree, Gary.
Yeah, or a mushroom.
I just want to cut people in half and count the rings, you know?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yesterday was my mom's birthday.
Oh, how many rings?
I don't think she'd like me to say. But I always
Okay. How much money does she make?
Oh, she's retired.
Okay. So ka-ching.
Ka-ching. She's a homeowner and not that bland.
Ooh. Well, that's amazing. Good for her.
She keeps us a spark alive, although she hates games is the wildest thing about my mother.
That's interesting.
They make her feel tense.
I get that. Some people can't do any kind of like thing where the results are in question.
Yeah, but Gary, I've explained to her so many times about the magic circle, and it just doesn't.
It's just gotta make her play the game.
Yeah, no. I mean, she got all the way through it. She did the whole part where you make your own game and stuff. And
she's like, "This sucks.
Please stop.
Stupid. James Urbaniak sucks.
This was a terrible birthday present that I'm giving you." Shard of Glass, Gary, we should at least say what the item does.
Oh, I guess. It's horrible. If you take damage, you have a 25% chance to drop a heart, which is like can keep you alive.
Yeah, again, not like dropping an extra heart out of your health, like
yes.
generating a heart. So it's a little bit like Gimpy in that sense, except Gimpy's good.
Gimpy gives you spirit hearts.
Yeah.
This just gives you red hearts. So like you've already taken the damage, you've already blown your deal with the devil chance.
Yeah.
Kind of regardless.
All about that DWTD.
Like this could be good on like Hush or whatever. Like this keep you alive during marathon boss fights.
Yes. When you're fighting the Pthor, when you're fighting the Spit, when you're fighting...
good pulls.
Hey, I think about Marathon a lot. I love the Marathon story.
That's amazing.
I've never played a Marathon game.
Well, I wouldn't.
Yeah, they're
if I were you.
Yeah, I dipped into that WAF for a minute, and it doesn't sound like much. Oh, great job on the Disco Elysium WAF, by the way. I finally listened to it.
Oh, thank you. I thought those were good episodes.
Very infuriating when you guys played the game wrong, but that's fine.
Oh, sure. What did we do wrong? In like 30 seconds or less, please.
Oh, literally just things you did that I didn't do or didn't do that I did.
Okay.
I think maybe specifically not mentioning the bit where...
okay.
Which is, to me, like the most fundamental moment of that entire game.
The most fundamental moment of the entire game.
The idea that he's not...
Yeah. I think we did mention that. I think we did say that it was
later?
Yeah.
Because it was not... Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
we
finish
definitely said it was
I'm
unreliable. I don't know if we talked about that specific scene, but we did talk about the fact that it's possible that
by the way, spoilers.
Oh, fuck. If you like this show...
No, Gary, we didn't say everything that the item does. Yeah. It has another effect.
Ignore the words that... If you still haven't played Disco Elysium, please. There's no such thing in that game. It's primarily about jumping on mushrooms and fighting Goombas. So just go in and get surprised.
Yeah. Oh, you also didn't mention the moment where you can hug the woman and she asks why, and you say for communism. A hug a day keeps the bourgeoisie. Cole didn't fucking talk to that woman. That's what Cole made me angry in that episode, not you.
Okay, thank
you.
God.
You're good. It was mostly Cole.
Thank you. Thank God.
Like, he seemed to be playing a real boring cop who didn't, like, do any of the good, weird stuff.
See, I was a boring cop, too, but I just did some good, weird stuff.
Yeah, like hugging that woman.
Yeah, it's very hard for me not to play a boring cop in that because I like these characters and I want them to be happy.
Yeah, me too. I played them mostly. I think I played basically... The thing about Disco Elysium is I bet our runs were, like, super similar.
Yeah. Very, very similar, I bet.
Yeah, other than the fact that I went intellectual cop because I'm me. So
and I went emotional cop because I'm me.
But also I was a jerk.
Oh, wow.
Spoilers. These are all spoilers, everyone.
That's actually a big one, too. That's a really big one. That's bigger than... Well, you might bleep that name.
Yeah, I might beep it. I might not.
I mean, the game's 18 months old.
Gary, I'm waiting.
You should have played it by now.
I can't be bleeping stuff.
You also get a 10% chance of getting the anemic effect, which means you get +5 range, which I didn't realize, and then a red creep trail.
I'm so glad we went back for that.
Yeah, that was worth it. Go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and hit us up with some buckaroonies.
Yeah, give us some money. If you enjoy the show, a great way to show that is to send us a little money.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal way to show it. You can also leave us a rating review, which is another great way to show it.
It is. Equally great, I would say. Right up there with making Taffy fan art.
Oh, that's a very big way.
Yes. All right. Here's a review from Champagne Problem. Champagne spelled like the city in Illinois. 5 stars. I'm very, very drunk. Everything to Ched is an exploration of the questions and answers found in the deepest recesses of the collective human consciousness. Why do hippies destroy our lives? Unclear. A health kit? Just in time. A letter? Want to read it. A piano? Want to play it. And most importantly, what is taffy? And why won't it stop staring at me through my window in the middle of the night? Most of that, of course, a reference to Duckstream this year, and the kind of bizarre art installation in which my mic cut out while I played a bad day.
Ched's bad day.
Yeah, one day
bad
for
day
Ched.
for Ched. One day for Ched.
Which meant it was just Gary and Nick and Brayton commentating without my input while I played this fucking first-person shooter that looked like Borderlands, but like one hit killed you.
Yeah, we're basically trying to guess what was going through your mind.
Yeah, accurately.
We put ourselves in the mind of the Ched. Good night.
Good night.